Well, I just wrapped up week 2 of my grand launch book launch experiment. So come on in, get cozy. I'm Sarah Walde. I'm a homeschooling mom and a mystery author, and we're trying to launch my book, Death in the Dice, a brand new book series, a brand new cozy mystery. And I'm taking you through all my strategies for trying to beat my other launch scores. So let's dive in. What have I been up to this last week? Well, other than healing, because 2 weeks ago I got sick, I have been working on finishing the last minute proofs. So I got my book back from the proofer. I formatted it, got it printed out in paperback, and I reread it for the storyline, but also for weird things like sometimes the formatting equipment I have will merge two paragraphs. So I have to go in and spice the paragraphs back up and make sure the punctuation is correct. Like there wasn't a glitch in the system, that everything turned out right. And I've done that twice this last week. And so I have the final product ready. I've also set my book up for pre-order, and you're going to be able to find the link in the description if you're interested. And I've decided that for this launch, my pre-order launch and the week after launch will be a 99-cent launch. After that, the book is going all the way up to $3.99. So I'm hoping to draw in some more new readers and get some more eyes on the book by having it at a lower price during pre-order and launch period. So I've been doing all of that on top of trying to draft book 2 in the series, because I really don't like having book 1 out without having book 2 at least drafted. I feel like as a reader myself, that I would be way too anxious waiting for the next book. So I purposely try to put myself in readers' shoes and think, okay, if they fall in love with this book, which I know they will because it's an amazing book, I need to make sure I have book 2 going at least, right? Because it takes a good 2 to 3 months for me to get it edited and through betas and proofed and formatted. So even if I have the book ready at the time I launch book 1, I still have 2 to 3 more months before book 2 will be ready. And I really want it ready as soon as possible. So I've been trying to draft, but my brain is just not braining. It's too excited about this launch. Another thing I've been doing is I've been looking for book bloggers to contact to ask them to take a look at my book. And I'm going to show you how I do that. I do that using Book Sirens. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see behind the view. So there's my book. This is how I'm getting my beta readers, some of my beta readers anyways. Here are my other books. But in Book Sirens, if you go all the way down to the bottom, you'll find right here, Browse Book Bloggers. And so I click on that. And I enter in my book genre. So I'm going to enter in cozy. And I'm actually going to do cozy culinary mystery because that's what this one is. And I'm looking for free reviews because I don't have that much resources to pay for reviews. I'm already doing other things. I want them to accept requests from indie authors. I want them to post on Amazon. Let's see, I'm going to be more nitpicky too. I want them to post on Amazon. And I also want them to post on Kobo. And so that narrows it down even more. And I want them to accept an EPUB, so like an ebook. I don't want to have to send them a paperback, and I don't want them to have to send them a PDF. So that brings me all of these lovely, lovely, lovely book bloggers. And what's really cool is it tells me their names, if they're accepting requests, their websites, all that stuff, and how many followers they generally have, what their social reach is. So like this one has a social reach of 1,300 readers or followers. That might be a good one to try, right? And it also tells me what genres they prefer. I would prefer going with somebody who likes just flat out cozies. Like that's their jam. That's what they like. I'd prefer to go with them. This one has 473 followers. So I've gone through all of these. There's more on all these pages to find book bloggers that I think will match my genre. And I have a list made, and I am getting ready to send out requests to that list. Now, not all of those book bloggers are going to say yes, obviously. Not all of them are going to be able to say yes in this month, round book launch time. Some of them are going to have to go out way further than I'd actually prefer for them to go out, from the time of book launch, but maybe they'll catch it on book 2, or maybe we'll be able to set up a date that's closer to the launch of book 2, and they'll be able to do book 1, and I'll have a secondary book there. So that's one way I use Book Sirens. I told you last week how I set it up for my advanced reader copies. I use Book Sirens for that too, but I also use it to find book reviewers and bloggers that I can get my book to, so that maybe my book isn't dependent just solely on Amazon and the algorithm and BookBub ads. Maybe I can get a little more eyes on the books by having a blogger take a look at them. So that was just something I thought I would share with you. Another thing I've been doing, oh my goodness, what have I been doing? I should have written a script for this one because I feel like I've been running with um, like a chicken, like around my house doing tons of stuff. So I've proofed it. I've got it formatted. I've got the paperback done. I've got it ready. It will publish 2 weeks before the ebook. That it was something that Dale L. Roberts recommended and something I'm going to try. Oh, that's another thing. Dale just came out with a new book all about book launches. I'll have it in the description too. You might even see it on my community post. He just came out with a book launch book. So I bought that thing. I read through it in an afternoon. I made sure I was on task and right where I thought I should be with all the notes I've taken from all my time with him at Book Rescue. And I am pretty close to what he asks you to do or what he suggests you do. There's a couple things that I am not going to do that he does recommend. As part of it is he recommends you get your audiobook ready to launch the same time your book is ready to launch. Well, for an independent writer like me, hiring an audiobook narrator is costly, and I'm not even sure how this book is going to do. So my plan is to launch books 1, 2, and 3 of this series, and then launch a box set of those first 3. And when I launch that box set, then I'll have the audio launched as a box set instead of individuals. That's my plan, especially since these books are a little bit shorter. That's my plan to launch the books. So I'm going to be waiting to do my audiobook until then. That could be anywhere from 9 months from now to a year and a half from now to maybe even 2 years. I don't think it'll be that long, but it will be somewhat close to that. But that's my goal for the audiobook. That's something I'm not doing. I am looking into, like I said, the bloggers. I'm also looking into podcasters that I could get on with and talk to about my book. I've been on a couple podcasts and they're super fun. They're actually a little teenage dream of mine was to be on podcasts. I didn't know that's what they were going to be called because there weren't podcasts when I was a teenager, but I had dreams of driving around in my car and talking to interviewers who would like do these like random personal interviews in my car. I don't know about my books. So in my mind, that is a podcast because they would have had it on a radio and all that kind of stuff. So I know I'm a little bit weird, but it's a teenage dream of mine to be on podcasts. So every time I'm on one, I get a little giddy. There's a specific one who does cozy mysteries that I've been on before, who I'm really interested in getting on her podcast again. I'm submitting to her today to see if she'll take me about the time of launch, if she's even still doing the podcast, which I've been following her, but sometimes my podcast provider, I guess, I don't know what doesn't always have her podcast. So I have to go hunting for it in other ways. So I miss her newest ones because I have to hunt through them through a different provider. But I'm hoping to get on her podcast because not only last time that I was on there with her, did we have a blast talking. She's a great interviewer and she's so much fun to just converse with. But we got into our love of D&D. And if you haven't guessed yet, Death in the Dice in the Donuts and Dragons series is about a widow who opens a donut shop that's a donut / gaming shop. So it has a whole bunch of D&D elements in it. Further books in the series will have more Dungeons and Dragons elements in it, and she and I were just hooting it up about Dungeons and Dragons on the last interview. So I think she'll absolutely love this book because it's got the cozy element, it's got the culinary element, and then it's got the gaming element in it. And it's so fun. My cover has already been revealed to the tubes of you on my community post. Go check that out so you can see it. And later this afternoon is being revealed to Instagram and all those places. So I'm already getting tons of feedback on the cover, that everybody loves the cover, that it's super fun. And I absolutely love the cover. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. So that's where I'm at right now. What's coming up this next week is a lot of getting ads ready, getting promo sites ready, getting promotion going for around launch week. And no, that won't particularly help me with the pre-order numbers that I wanted to hit, but it should help me with my numbers that I want to hit after launch. In fact, I'm planning to spend anywhere from about 100 to maybe 200, but I'm hoping to stick closer to $100 on promo sites to help launch the book even further. Because I think you're going to totally fall in love with it as soon as you see the cover and meet the characters in this town. Another thing that I've done in this series that I'll talk about on my launch is I have stayed in the same imaginary town that other book series are in. And I'll explain more on launch at the launch party. So you're going to run into characters that are in other books of mine in this town, in this book. It's going to be great. I can't tell you how much fun it was to write and how much fun it is to see it coming to life. So that's what I did for the second week of my launch. Hang around and I'll be back in a week to tell you what I did on week 3 of my launch plan. Until then, God bless and stay cozy. Bye.